Anime Talk RE0 Season 3 continues with episodes 2, 3, and 4. At least what I've watched. No, I'm not watching this as it comes out. This isn't like a very long down the line recording that I had planned for this moment. No, I'm here to talk about these 3 episodes. No, not 3 episodes, 2 episodes. I haven't seen episode 4 yet. I'm gonna get around to it at some point though. Right. So, RE0 Season 3 continues after the ending of episode 1 where Subaru's head explodes, or implodes. No, explodes. No, it implodes because like the kid's head hits the ground and then it explodes. So yeah, see, episode 2 continues the record of showing Subaru just being utterly screwed over. Like, they keep finding new ways to make this man suffer. And this has got to be one of the worst they've ever had. Like, the episode 1's death was terrible because of the psychological torment. But this is physically, like, Subaru gets thrown off a clock tower by a chain around his neck. He tries to grab the chain, his fingers get cut off, and then he is, like, basically suffocated by a chain with spikes impaling into his neck. It's like, what the fuck? This season does not hold back in terms of the gore. I don't know what rating this show is in terms of age rating, but this has to be higher than Season 2, because I don't think there was that much gore in Season 2. I guess, like, Subaru getting eaten by a field of rabbits was not great, but it was kind of subdued compared to this. Like, this season is off-kilter, in a good way. One of the best parts of these 2 episodes, at least my reaction was, oh, more villains just keep showing up, don't they? I've generally thought we were going to just have the Archbishop of Greed show up in all of his stupid, self-important glory. But then the Archbishop of Wrath showed up. And then the Archbishop of Gluttony showed up. And then the Archbishop of Lust showed up. If the Archbishop of Pride appears, I am going to die. I don't know if we are going to get Pride, because there's theories that Subaru is Pride, but I think that he's very much, at least from my mind, he's Satella's Archbishop, like the Envy ones. I don't think we're going to be getting Envy or Pride. But yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of villains showing up. Like, Gluttony gets one scene. He looks different to how he looked in Season 2. Maybe they changed his design. I like his design a lot. I like the bestial big mouth, big eyes, and no nose design. I think it's really good. All the Archbishops have great designs. Greed looks great. I love how simple his design is. Like, he looks like he tries to cosplay as an ordinary man, but his design is kind of almost alien-esque, like that kind of choker around his neck, that turtleneck, and those menacing golden eyes is great. And then, like they went off the walls with Wrath's design. We haven't seen that much of Lust yet, but we'll see more of her, I assume, in later episodes. Like, Lust basically just Wrath is being like a bandaged up, and her powers are really cool. Like, they keep thinking of cool ideas for these characters' abilities. In Season 1, we had Sloth with his invisible hand, which wasn't that interesting, I will say. Not a good example, but, like, invisible hand are cool, fine. The main interesting thing about him was that when you kill him, his soul moves on to someone else. In this season, we get more of the Greed. We already know his powers. If you try and hit him, he just blocks it, like, with 1,000 cuts, basically. Gluttony removes people's memories. And now we have Lust, who I don't know what their gimmick is going to be. Something lustful, I assume, like maybe Charm. And Wrath, who I think has the coolest ability out of them all. I love her, like, Wrath connection, I guess, would be how I would, like, a psychic connection with her victims. Basically, she can soul connect with anyone around her, so that if she is injured, they are injured. We saw in episode 1 that she soul connected the people with the kid. So I think the way that scene went was Wrath connected her jovial jubilation with the people. and they were laughing, they were loving her. Subaru was like, yeah, you're so cool, this is amazing. But then she transferred that connection from her to the kid, and then threw the kid off. And then when the kid died, they all died. Why? I don't know why she wanted to do that. Wrath, I guess, just anger. And then in episode 2, we see further development to that, where Subaru feels the kid's fear. It's not his own, he's shaking. He pees himself at one point to show his absolute fear in that moment. He has no control over it. And then we see more of her powers when Reinhard shows up, who we think, oh, he's gonna destroy her. We saw in season 1 that he could deal with Puck, one of the 3 great spirits. He's gonna, well, not one of the 3 great spirits, one of the great entities of this world. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, he does. He does kill her simply, but she's connected herself with the people around her. So when Reinhard kills her, everyone dies, including Subaru. Raw power is not going to beat this character, which is why we get to see Subaru's development. He brings in Reinhard, is like, okay, I need someone else who I can rely on. Moving on, like his character development in season 2 of him getting help from others. He gets Amelia to help, and also Beatrice, which was fun. We get a good fight with them. But then the Archbishop of Greed shows up, and it's like, you have no right to fight me. He's basically like a male Karen, I feel. He does like, he can always think of something to throw anything you say on its head. His rights as a human being, as a human male. And he wants to marry Amelia. So now Amelia is being taken as a damsel, and I'm not really too happy about that, but we'll see how that goes. I want them to give Amelia stuff to do. They did. In this episode, we had an awesome fight with her and the Archbishop of Wrath. I have no idea what's going to happen with Otto and Gluttony. I hope Otto wasn't killed. That would suck. Also, something that I'm really glad about in episode 2, and it's very understated, is I'm glad that there are consequences that aren't removed by looping. We had this in season 2 with the opening with Crush and Rem being hurt and Subaru not being able to do anything about it. But I like the fact that we can't just use that as an scapegoat. We can't go back in time to save them. Everyone is injured after the fight with these groups of people. Because Subaru is connected to all the people out in the field, everyone like loses their leg. Luckily, Ferris is there to heal them, which is good. And then episode 3. I like how this episode is structured. I'm not a big fan of the sudden cut to Garl's storyline. I don't think it's bad necessarily. I think that personally, anyway, or Garth, not Garl, not from Sea of Stars. I think that with how much they were building up the Archbishop fight, I guess it was a nice bit of slowing the pace down a bit after all that. But I don't think you can do that after what you did in this episode. Like, bringing up, oh no, there's 4 Archbishops here, good luck. I guess they're planning a siege on Priscilla. I don't know if they're here for Amelia. I don't think they planned on her being here. So they must be after what I assume to be the witch who is buried in the city. Who, I don't know which one it is, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, I like Garth's story as well. He's a great character. I always enjoy them like subverting the tropes of a pretty well-established anime archetype of a strong, buff character who never feels pain or sadness. Is like one of the most vulnerable characters in this show and deals with a lot of emotional trauma in this episode, where he finally sees his mother again, but she's got amnesia. He doesn't know who she is. And for 14-year-old, 15-year-old now, I think at this point, it's been a year, that would suck. And I'm glad Mimi was there to help him. I like Mimi. I thought her advances in episode 1 were a little bit weird, considering they didn't know each other, and then suddenly, oh, I'm your love interest now. Okay. I think that they work better as a couple in this episode. Seeing the emotional moment of him crying was great. I like seeing characters cry. I know that's a sad thing to say, but more characters need to have like emotional outbursts, and this show does it really well with these really deep personal moments. I will say, you can kind of tell when there's not going to be a loop back. I think that the loop that Subaru had has now been saved because we had a cutaway, and when we have a cutaway, that tends to mean that that the storyline is going to continue. Because if you notice in the first part of season 2, we don't really cut away from Subaru that much. We spend a lot of our time with him because they wouldn't do that. Because any events that would transpire with the other characters, their character development would be meaningless. So there's no point cutting to that. It would suck if we went back in time after this. I mean, I guess we've seen it now, so it will occur always, but I don't want that to be taken away from us. Oh no! I guess actually that's wrong, because that... No, sorry. You can punch me in the face, actually, for saying that, because that's before the event, the time that even happens, because that's the night before. We see a flashback. Right, never mind. That still occurs. I guess we'll see what happens, yeah. But it'll be amazing if Subaru's time loop got saved over and he can go back to deal with this. I don't think he's at a point now where he would kill himself to go back. I think now is a big part of season 2 was him not doing that anymore, him caring more about himself and having friends. But yeah, episode 4. We'll see what happens more then. That's it for now. Hope you'll enjoy this review. I'll see you all next time.